The rain was falling in a solid wall when Mark slowed his old Ford at the entrance to Gray Hollow. He had driven here at the request of the local sheriff. Too many disappearances, too few explanations. The silence of the streets felt wrong. This was a town of 1,000 people, but it looked abandoned, as if everyone had simply stopped living their normal lives and retreated indoors. And no one knew why. Sheriff Grace met him near a closed-down supermarket. Her face was pale, and in her hands she held a device that looked like a tablet. Only the green lines on its display flickered like an old cathode screen. "We found this with the first missing person," she said. "It's not ours. Not something you can buy. We tried opening it, scanning it. Nothing. But it works. And it reacts to something nearby." The screen shimmered. For a moment, coordinates appeared, then a video feed, a hallway, filmed as if by a 1980s security camera. Something moved there, a shadow, long and uneven, more like an error in the footage than a living creature. Mark frowned. "Where's that camera located?" "That's the problem. We don't know. It's like the device is connected to a network that doesn't exist anymore." That night, they followed the coordinates. They led to an abandoned telephone relay station, a squat brick building from the 60s where every phone line in the area once converged. The door hung from a single hinge. Inside smelled of mold and rust. The place had been without power for decades, but it wasn't dark. A faint, cold light blinked somewhere deeper in the building, coming from rows of metal relay cabinets. They were ancient, thick cables, analog switches, labels reading Analog Relay/1964, but their indicator lights were flickering, as if the entire system had come alive again. Grace's device lit up. The same corridor they stood in appeared on the screen, but delayed by a couple of seconds. On that delayed feed, behind them, something took shape. A figure. Not human, not animal. Its outline trembled like a bad signal, a humanoid shape built from static and white noise. Its arms were too long, twitching as if their joints lagged behind the movement. Its face wasn't a face at all, only a flat, shimmering field of digital snow. Grace gasped. Mark slowly turned around. Nothing there. Only darkness, rain tapping on the broken windows, and the smell of dust. Then something clicked, sharp, metallic, like thousands of phone lines trying to connect at once. The creature appeared without transitioning, as if someone hit play on reality itself. It jerked toward them, each motion accompanied by a burst of static. Thin strands of white noise, almost like living cables, stretched from its limbs to the relay cabinets. "It moves through the network," Mark realized aloud. "Through a grid that shouldn't even be alive." One of the cable-like strands whipped out, scraping Grace's shoulder. A bright mark flared there, like a burn made entirely of shifting pixels. She choked, her voice glitching, as if something was intercepting her sound. Mark grabbed her and pulled her toward the exit. The creature vanished, then instantly reappeared at the doorway, its featureless head tilting in short, unnatural snaps. "It can't leave the building," Grace whispered through clenched teeth. "It's bound to this place." "Then this is where it dies." The inside of the station hummed as they pushed deeper. The creature hammered at the glass partitions, its blows shaking the walls. Every hit sent a shock of static through the lights. Mark found the main relay panel and began ripping out cables. The creature's body twitched each time, its form glitching violently. Then he saw it, the central block, dusty but active, humming with an unnatural pulse. A metal plate read, "Prototype Signal Interface, Phase Test 1964. A forgotten experiment. Something reached through the analog network back then, and something answered. Something that lived in the lines long after the power died. Mark tore the final cable free. The station went black. A single implosive thud echoed through the structure, like the building exhaled. The creature froze mid-motion, its body flaring into a burst of white light, and vanished. Thunder boomed outside, ordinary and earthly. Grace winced, gripping her burned shoulder. Is it gone? Mark looked at the device. The display was dead. Then, in the lower corner, a single pixel flickered. Once, like a heartbeat, a pulse. The network never dies completely, Mark murmured. Not if something inside it wants to live. Somewhere, in the dark of the old relay station, buried under collapsed cables, a faint click answered. A tiny attempt to reconnect. And then, silence.